व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनातीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनातीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनातीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण जय गौरनीताय जय कृष्ण बलराम ललिता विशाखा जय राधे श्याम जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतस्य श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस ऑफ चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरव भक्तवृंद की जय। राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्यामा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, गंगा मैया जमुना मैया की जय, श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय, गौर निताय की जय, राधा श्यामा सुंदर ललिता विशाखा देवी की जय, भगवत-वाणी श्रीमद् भगवद-गीता की जय, वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय, समवेत वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की जय। All glory to assembly of devotees, all glory to assembly of devotees, all glory to assembly of devotees. Sri Guru Sri Gauranga. Om ajnanaatimirandhasya jnananjana shailakaya चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुभे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यैश्वरम्। ॐ नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नमिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषः शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिशै नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। Reading from Bhagavad-gītā as it is, chapter 11, the universal form. Text 54. Very long purport, eh? 1, 2, 3, 4 page. Okay. भक्त्या तु अन्यया śakyaḥ aham evaṁ-vidho Arjuna jñātuṁ draṣṭuṁ ca tattvena praveṣṭuṁ ca paran-tapa bhaktyā tu ananyayā śakya aham evaṁ-vidho rjuna jñātuṁ draṣṭum ca tattvena praveṣṭuṁ ca paran-tapa bhaktyā tu ananyayā śakya aham evaṁ-vidho rjuna jñātuṁ draṣṭuṁ ca tattvena praveṣṭuṁ ca paran-tapa bhaktyā tu ananyayā śakya aham evaṁ-vidho rjuna jñātuṁ draṣṭum ca tattvena praveṣṭuṁ ca paran-tapa bhaktyā tu ananyayā śakya aham evaṁ-vidho rjuna jñātuṁ draṣṭum ca tattvena praveṣṭuṁ ca paran-tapa bhaktyā tu ananyayā śakya aham evaṁ-vidho rjuna jñātuṁ draṣṭum ca tattvena praveṣṭuṁ ca paran-tapa bhaktyā tu ananyayā śakya aham evaṁ-vidho rjuna jñātuṁ draṣṭum ca tattvena praveṣṭuṁ ca paran-tapa माताएं bhaktyā tu ananyayā śakya aham evaṁ-vidho rjuna jñātuṁ draṣṭum ca tattvena praveṣṭuṁ ca paran-tapa bhaktyā tu ananyayā śakya aham evaṁ-vidho rjuna jñātuṁ draṣṭum ca tattvena paran-tapa. Word meaning: bhaktya, by devotional service. Tu, but. Ananyaya, without being mixed with fruitive activities or speculative knowledge. śakyaḥ, possible. aham, I. evam-vidhaḥ, like this. Arjuna, O Arjuna. jñātuṁ, to know. draṣṭum, to see. ca, end. tattvena, in fact. praveṣṭuṁ, to enter into. ca, also. paran-tapa, O subduer of the enemy. Translation and purport by Divine Grace अभय चरण अरविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Translation: My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Please repeat. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Purport is very long purport, and Krishna can be understood only by the process of undivided devotional service. He explicitly explains this in this verse so that unauthorized commentators who try to understand Bhagavad-gītā by the speculative process will know that they are simply wasting their time. No one can understand Krishna or how he came from parents in a four-handed form and at once changed into himself into two-handed form. These things are very difficult to understand. By study of the Vedas or by philosophical speculation, therefore, it is clearly stated here that no one can see him or enter into understanding of these matters. Those who, however, are very experienced students of Vedic literature can learn about him from the Vedic literature in so many ways. There are so many rules and regulations, and if one at all wants to understand Krishna, he must follow the regulative principles described in the authorized literatures. One can perform penances in accordance with those principles. For example, by undergo serious penances, one may observe fasting on Janmashtami day, or on which Krishna appeared, and on 2 days of Ekadashi, the 11th day after the new moon and the 11th day after the full moon. As far as charities is concerned, it is explained that charity should be given to the devotees of Krishna who are engaged in his devotional service to spread the Krishna philosophy or Krishna consciousness. Throughout the world, Krishna consciousness is benediction to humanity. Lord Chaitanya was appreciated by Rūpa Gosvāmī as the most munificent man of charity because love of Krishna, which is very difficult to achieve, was distributed freely by him. So if one gives some amount of his money to the persons involved in distributing Krishna consciousness, that charity given to spread Krishna consciousness is the greatest charity in the world. And if one worships as prescribed in the temple, in the temples in India, there is always some statue, usually of Vishnu or Krishna. That is a chance to progress by offering worship and respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the beginners in devotional service to the Lord, temple worship is essential. And this is confirmed in the Vedic literature, Śvetāśvatara Upaniṣad 6.23. Yasya deve para bhaktir jatha deve tatha guru tasya tahi kathitahi artha prakasante mahatmanam. One who has unpreaching devotion for the Supreme Lord and is directly by the spiritual master in whom he has similar unpreaching faith can see Supreme Personality Godhead by revelation. In one cannot understand Krishna by mental speculation. For one who does not take personal training under the guidance of a spiritual master, it is impossible to even begin to understand Krishna. The word tu is specifically used here to indicate that no other process can be used, can be recommended, or can be successful in understanding Krishna. The personal forms of Krishna, the two-handed form and the four-handed forms, are described as subduer, very difficult to see. They are completely different from the temporary universal form shown to Arjuna. The four-handed form of Narayana and the two-handed form of Krishna are eternal and transcendental, whereas the universal form exhibited to Arjuna is temporary. The word tattvena na druṣṭa purvam in text 47 states that before Arjuna, no one had seen that universal form. Also, they suggest that amongst the devotees, there was no necessity of showing it. That form was exhibited by Krishna at the request of Arjuna, so that in the future, when one represents himself as an incarnation of God, people can ask to see his universal form. Let's explain up to this, then we will, if time is a very long purport. Okay. Bhaktyā tu ananyayā śakya aham evaṁ-vidho Arjuna jñātuṁ draṣṭuṁ ca tattvena praveṣṭuṁ ca paran-tapa. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Hare Krishna. So this is the last section of this chapter, from 47 to 55. And this is just one verse before the concluding verse. one more verse in this chapter. So, first Arjuna requested to see the universal form of Krishna. So, why Arjuna wanted to see the universal form? Here is Prabhupada mentioning that when one represents himself as incarnation of God, people can ask to see his universal form. If anyone claims that I am God, then he has to show his universal form, just like Krishna manifested his universal form before Arjuna. Anyhow, but here his point is that this universal form, generally the devotees, they don't like to see. Devotees, here first Krishna manifested himself in his universal form, according to Arjuna's request. The Arjuna then performed prayer from verse 36 up to 47, 46, 35 to 46. This is the Arjuna's prayer. After seeing the universal form, the Arjuna became very fearful and he confused, and in that state he started praying Arjuna, Krishna, who are you? I am not understanding. Who are you? Then Krishna told, Kala Vasmin, Loka Khyakrit Prabhupada. I am Kala, the time factor. Then Arjuna saw that all these great fighters in this Mahabharata war, and they are all entering in the mouth of that universal form, and they are just getting their death inside. Seeing this furious form, Arjuna become bewildered, become very fearful. Then he requested, oh, I don't want to see this form again. Please manifest it before me in your peaceful form, in your 400 form. So then 47, then Krishna manifested his 400 form, his Narayana form first. Then he again changed to his 200 form, his original Krishna form. So Prabhupada is making here in purport in beginning, he is telling that the common people, they cannot understand how Krishna first appeared in a 400 form, and again he again appeared as 200 form. Just that is also happened when Krishna was born in Kamsa's jail before Devaki and Vasudeva. When he took birth from considered as his Janmashtami, he took birth. Anyhow, Krishna can appear anywhere. He is everywhere. His existence is everywhere. He can manifest from any place. But first Devaki Vasudeva saw him in his Vishnu form, 400 form. Then Krishna again appeared them before as 200 form. Ordered them order Vasudeva to transfer him to Gokul. Anyhow, Prabhupada is telling these things, the common people, they cannot understand. How it is possible? Someone appeared in 400 form and 200, then appeared in 200 form. It is not possible to understand by a yogi or a jnani or karmis. They cannot understand these things. Specifically the karmis and jnanis. Only by pure devotional service, by a devotee can understand this mystery. He can understand how it is possible. Without, if someone is not a devotee, then simply speculative knowledge and his karma-kanda activities, they cannot help him to understand this truth. That is first point Prabhupada made in beginning. People, they cannot understand the words of Shastras, even Shastras. Tomorrow is Jagannath's appearance day. Snana Jatra means that day when Lord Jagannath appeared. This particular form that Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra, they appeared in this particular day, Snana Purnima. Just like Janmashtami is the appearance day of Krishna, Ramanavami is the appearance day of Ramachandra, and just other incarnations, Vamana Dvadasi, Nrsimha Chaturthi. Similarly, Jagannath appeared to this particular day, Snana Purnima, Jyeshta Shukla Purnima Tithi. So there is one pastime also connected these things in about Jagannath's pastimes, that it is mentioned in scripture. Simply seeing Jagannath, the form of Jagannath in a temple, go to temple and see Lord Jagannath, one can be liberated. One can return back to Godhead. Jatra Sakhya Jagannatha Sankha Chakra Gadadhara Jantu Darsanat Mukti Sadadati Kripanidhi. Skanda Purana Utkala Khanda. She mentioned that if he simply by seeing Jagannath in his temple, in his 400 from Sankha Chakra Gadadhara and Jantu Darsanat Mukti, the conditioned souls, simply by seeing Jagannath, the darshan, they get delivered from the cycle of birth and death. They get liberated. Jatra Sakhya Jagannatha Sankha Chakra Gadadhara Jantu Darsanat Mukti Rathetu Vamanang Drushtra Punarjanma na Vidyate. Simply seeing Jagannath in his chariot, one can be free from the cycle of birth and death. So there is one great Pandit, very scholarly person in Nepal. He was thinking how it is possible. I am reading the scriptures, Vedic, I know all the Vedic scriptures, all the Upanishads, all the everything detail. And he was a Digvijay Pandit, very scholarly person. How it is possible? Simply seeing the Jagannath and seeing having darshan, then one can get liberated. How it is possible? He could not also understand how Lord appeared in 400, again 200, these things, because he is not a devotee. So you come to Jagannath Puri to see Jagannath and to test whether this words from scripture is true or not. His name was Udayana Mishra, from Mithila, Janakpuri, Mithila. So he came to Jagannath Puri and he booked a nice guest house room, nice room and single room. He was staying very nicely and thinking next day morning I will go and see Jagannath and whether I am delivered from the cycle of birth and death, whether I am get liberated or not, I will. He wanted to test. So what happened that morning, the next day morning, when the pujaris come and they want to open the door was not opening, door was closed. The main door they could not open the main door. They brought many strong persons, many strong military persons came. Even they use elephants. They try their best. No one could open the door. So somehow other pujari somewhere, some other ways, or here there, they jump the wall or they come inside and they went inside and do their necessity, says their sevas. But the public darshan was closed. No public could enter. Door was closed, main door. So what happened? How it is happening? The king became very disturbed. So king and head pujari, they asked Jagannath, why it is happening like this? Please, this public, lakhs of people, they were suffering, whole road was blocked. Everywhere is public, Jagannath darshan is closed. So in evening, Lord Jagannath told to head pujari and king that there is one unbeliever who is not a devotee and falsely thinking that I am a very knowledgeable person. I know all the scriptures, shastras, puranas, everything. He is a Digvijay Pandit. And he came here to test me, whether by having my darshan, whether he is getting liberated or not. He told the king, first kick out that person from Puri. I don't want to give darshan to this person. He has no faith on the words of scripture and he has no faith on my glories, my pastimes, and he has no faith. Kick him out from Puri. Let him go out. First kick him out Puri, and Jagannath told him where he is staying, this guest house number and his room number, everything told. So but immediately the king and his ministers with some constables, they went to that hospital. Then they knocked the particular room. This Pandit was staying, they knocked the door. He was thinking, or king came to, I am Digvijay Pandit, so king came to welcome me. All these kings and all the royal peoples coming. Then he opened the door, when he saw a smiling face, the king was very in angry mood. He told, hey, what is your name? Your name is Udayan Mishra? He told, oh, how you know? He knows my name. King told, your name was told me by Lord Jagannath. Your name is Udayan Mishra, you are from Janakpuri, Mithila. So, get out immediately, pick up your luggage and get out from Puri. You get out from Puri because you have no faith on Jagannath and you came here to test Jagannath. You have no faith on his glory, you have no faith on Shastra, the words of the Shastra. So you have no right to stay here. No, you cannot say, as long as you will be here, Jagannath will not give you darshan to anyone. Darshan is called whole days, lakhs of people are suffering. Immediately, you tap, so quick, king told, otherwise I have this military force, they will take you and throw you out of Puri immediately. So what he will do, you understand? He immediately just pick up his luggage, and with luggage he went out. Then he come, before he is going, he understood his mistake. So he was crying. Then in front of Sindhas told, okay, I understand Jagannath, I cannot cheat Jagannath understanding everything. Even whatever I am thinking in mind, it is known to him. So understood this is glories of the Shastras. Whatever mentioned in Shastra, glories of Jagannath, they are not false. So finally he has come in thinking to become repentant. He was understanding his mistake and pay his full dandavat in front of this Jagannath door and crying, oh Lord Jagannath, please excuse me. I am such a fault finder and such a non-believer. Please excuse me. I am asking, begging pardon, or I am begging forgiveness. Please excuse me. When he was crying and he understood his mistake, he realized his mistakes, and he was praying Jagannath and closed eyes and to excuse. Everyone was surprised. Immediately door was opened. Then everyone saw Jagannath. Everyone saw, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. Unless one come to the devotional platform, one cannot see Krishna. Jai Krishna Sai Gaura Sai, Jai Gaura Sai Krishna Sai Jagannath. Vasudeva Ghosa Kahe Jodi Benihat. So that's why here is the point is same thing. Yeah. If someone is not a devotee, he cannot understand. This is the point his Prabhupada is making. Bhaktyā tu, by Krishna is telling himself, Bhaktyā tu ananyayā, śakya. Unless one is a devotee, one cannot see Krishna. One cannot understand the glories of Krishna. Right? Only, even if this Vishwarupa was here, Krishna, Arjuna saw, in a partial form, this Vishwarupa was shown to Duryodhana. Before Mahabharata war, when Krishna went as a messenger from the Pandava side, he went to the Kaurava Sabha to just to want to some. Krishna told, let the war stop. Why there will be great war and so many people will die? He went. He asked this. Went to the Kaurava Sabha. Then he told, please give only 5 villages to the 5 Pandavas. Then they will be, and you rule all over the world. They will be very pleased. They will not disturb you. But Duryodhana was not agreed. He told, I will not give any suchagremedini. That amount of land that can be in the tip of a needle, cannot give that. So that's when Krishna was, then other Vidur was shouting something. When then in other way he asked his soldiers, arrest Krishna. He came here to arrest him. So Krishna manifested his partial, just universal little. So then he laughed, you want to arrest me? So, but he saw that partial universal form. But he could not believe that Krishna is God. Still he has no faith. So the non-believers, they cannot understand who is Krishna. Even before Mahabharata war, in Dwaraka, Krishna was Dwaraka, then both Duryodhana and Arjuna, they went to get Krishna in their side. So when both came, then the Krishna finally told the condition that, anyhow, in the evening time they come. Krishna told, okay, tomorrow I am going to now, I am very tired, now I am going to take rest. I am sleeping now. In the morning, when I wake up, to whom I saw first, I will take his side. I will remain in his side. So, Duryodhana did not come up. that night he was sitting on the same room with the arms. Then he was just in Krishna's head side there. He is sitting in his chair, arms the whole night. He could not leave that room. But Arjuna was messaging Krishna's feet. When saw that Krishna is now already asleep, then he come out of the room. And from Brahma Murta he again come, and he opened the door, then he just messaging his feet, Krishna very softly. So Krishna understood that someone is messaging my feet. Then he woke up. So he was sleeping, and when he woke up, to whom he will see first? Who is in feet? So he saw Arjuna. He told, oh Arjuna, I saw, according to my condition, to whom I have seen first, I saw you first, so I will be in your side. Duryodhana shouted in the so told, hey, this is wrong. Ask Arjuna, who is here? I am whole night I am sitting here. Krishna told, this is not the condition. Condition is I see first, then I will be in their side. Then he has shouted, in blasphemed Krishna like anything, Duryodhana. Anyhow, Krishna told, okay, this is okay, but there is another condition. I will be in one side, and my whole army, Narayani Sena and my Krutaparma, the chief in commander, they will be in one side. And I myself will be one side. And even in the war, I will not take any weapon. I will not fight practically. I have desire to see the war, so I will be just sit as a charioteer, chariot driver. Then you decide now whom you want. Still, then the Duryodhana told, okay, he is a useless fellow. He want to see the war. He don't want to fight. So glory, they cannot understand. A non-devotee cannot understand Krishna's, who is Krishna and his glories. But Pandava, they know, Arjuna, they know. They accept Krishna. Even Krishna did not wanted to fight in the war. Just want to charioteer and see, and in Arjuna's chariot, and see the war. So this is devotee, distinction between devotee and a non-devotee. A non-devotee they cannot understand the glories of the Lord. So generally the Brahmavadis, those are Jnanis, and the impersonalists, they could not understand Krishna's glories because they believe in Brahma Jyoti. His all-pervading universal form that Krishna is. So these people, the Jnanis, the so-called Jnanis, they cannot understand the glories of Krishna. And those who are karmis, because devotional service means, Rūpa Gosvāmī explains, jnana karmadi anavritam, anya-vilāsita sunyam, jnana karmadi anavritam, anukulyena Krishna anusilanam bhaktir uttama. The pure devotional service, free from impersonal knowledge and fruitive activities. So unless we are free from these two things, fruitive activities and impersonal knowledge, then how can he part from pure devotional service? It is only a pure devotee who is in a favorable way. He has dedicated his life in service of Krishna. Then he can understand Krishna. So that is the point his Prabhupada is making in the beginning of his purport. And and Prabhupada making another point is Jasya deve para bhakti jatha deve tha guru tasya tahi kathitahi artha prakasante mahatmana. And if someone is implanting faith in Krishna and spiritual master, then that person is qualified to be favored by Krishna. He can perform pure devotional service and he can be favored by Krishna. Unless one is surrendered at the lotus feet of his spiritual master, and according to the instruction of spiritual master, he did not want to understand Krishna, and he only speculated himself about Krishna, then he could not understand Krishna. Krishna can be understood when one takes shelter of a spiritual master. Bhakti means one have to follow the process that is given, that is in scriptures. Adau Guru Padasraya. One has to take shelter of a pure devotee who is his spiritual master, and according to the guidance of the spiritual master, then he follow in a gradual process. Like the Pancha Mahasadhans, Rūpa Gosvāmī mentioned. Then he could understand this. Prabhupada just gave in ISKCON, the sadhanas for all ISKCON devotees. They must follow Prabhupada, otherwise they cannot understand Krishna. He cannot know properly the Krishna consciousness movement. What is the aim and what is the goal? How to achieve the favor of Krishna, and finally how can one see Krishna? It is only by the mercy of a pure devotee who is a spiritual master, to whom he considered a spiritual master. That is the point Prabhupada is making here. The personal form of the Krishna. One is unflinching devotion for the Supreme Lord and directed by spiritual master, in whom he has similar unflinching faith, can see Supreme Personality of Godhead by revelation. Sometimes people challenge to Prabhupada. Have you, Swami, have you seen God? Generally, Prabhupada never spoke that I saw God, or I talked to God, in a dream I saw God. But when challenge someone, one time Prabhupada told, yes, you want to see? No. Because if you want to see, then you have to follow. You have to follow me, whatever I am telling. If you follow, then you can see. If you want to see, just like we cannot see everything in this, just in this two eyes we got, this material eyes, we cannot see everything. It is not possible to see everything. Even if it just this light will up, we cannot see it, it will be dark. So then Prabhupada told you have to follow 4 regulative principles. Then you have to no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication. First 4 regulative principles. Then you have to follow, get up in morning, Mangala Arati. Then you have to see the Lord. In Arati you must be present there. Then you have to chant your round, all this everything. And we attend Bhagavatam class, all these things, this is given by the spiritual master. So if someone is follow a spiritual master, whatever his instructions he given, if you want to see God, then you have to follow the instruction of spiritual master. Then by mercy of spiritual master, one can get favor of Krishna. This is the point. That unless one is favored by spiritual master, how can he be favored by Krishna? Then Prabhupada wrote, quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam, that Supreme Personality, that Srimad Bhagavatam we find description of all kinds of incarnations, and Krishna, but all this, among all these incarnations, Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. Ete changsa kalapungsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. That's why a pure devotee, he want to see Bhagavan. A jnani, they saw Brahmeti Paramatma, the supreme truth, in 3 phases. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Badanti Tattvavid Tattvam Jad Jnanam Advayam Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti sabdyate. And so those who are impersonalists, the Brahmavadi, they called the supreme truth as Brahman. And those who are Paramatma, the yogis, they see Paramatma in everyone's heart. But a devotee, he saw Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the bhakta, the devotee, he can see the Supreme Truth as a person. So then he take refuge of the lotus feet of Krishna. Therefore, the universal form which Krishna showed to Arjuna is nothing, the original form of God. The original is the Krishna form. The universal form with its thousands and thousands of heads and hands is manifest just to draw attention of those who have no love for God. It is not God's original form. Only devotee is by premanjana churita bhakti vilocanaina santa sadaiva hrudayesu vilokayanti yang shyama sundaram achintya guna swarupam govindam adi purusam tamahang bhajami. With an eye of devotion and having the ointment of love, then one can see Krishna, he can see Krishna. Otherwise, a jnani and karmis, yogis, they cannot see Krishna. So, the Supreme Godhead exchanges the transcendental love in his original form of Krishna. So therefore, Arjuna, who was so intimately related to Krishna in friendship, his form of universal manifestation was not pleasing. That's why Arjuna desired to see his 400 form, and finally Krishna manifested in 200 form as Krishna. And Prabhupada made a point here that the original form is Krishna. That is, the devotee wanted to see his original form. Okay. Then this purport is ahead. Time is... any question in this up to this point? Anyone, any question? That bhaktyā ananyayā śakya aham evaṁ-vidho Arjuna. Krishna is telling this, the form that I manifested in front of you, except you, Arjuna. No one has seen this form before. Particularly this universal form. That is, he mentioned, manifested before Arjuna. And he manifested in other places the universal forms. They are not same as the universal form that manifested before Arjuna. He manifested in front of Mother Jasoda saw in his mouth the universal form. But that is not the same as Krishna, as Arjuna saw. So that's why Prabhupada told this universal form is not in truth. It's time to time in the, Krishna manifested to the non-believers, non-devotees. But a devotee, he did not want to see that form. So, but in this particular verse, bhaktyā tadanya śakya aham evam. Then Krishna told also the other manifested these 400 forms, and two arm forms. These forms also not seen by everyone. This only by a devotee can see this Krishna form. By understanding it properly, jñātuṁ draṣṭuṁ ca tattvena praveṣṭuṁ ca paran-tapa, and can thus seen directly. In this way, one can enter into the mysteries of my understanding. The whole purport is, Prabhupada wrote, quoting from different Puranas, Shastras, Brahma-samhita, Bhagavatam, and just want to convince someone that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and this is the only goal for a devotee. A devotee did not want to see this all-pervading, impersonal, universal form. A devotee never want to see even his Paramatma form, his 400 Narayana form. That is also for the yogis. Only devotee could be pleased by seeing his 200 human-like form. And Prabhupada also in writing in the middle of purport, that is in other scriptures also mentioned that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a human-like form. In the Bible it is also mentioned how the God is a human-like form. That is also Prabhupada mentioned in his purport. So Prabhupada wants to prove that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Ishvaraha Parama Krishna. This is also quoted in the purport after from Brahma Samhita. Then Prabhupada told that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and only devotee can see him by following the process of pure devotional service. There is no other way one can understand Krishna or see Krishna face to face. If you want to see Krishna face to face, then you have to follow the instructions of Bhagavad-gītā or Brahma Samhita, Vaishnava scriptures, and take the help of a spiritual master and pure devotees. By their mercy, one can understand Krishna. So any question or comment? Five minutes for question, 4 minutes for question or comment. No question. Prabhupada quoted many verses that even the Mahavishnu is also an expansion of Krishna, and Krishna in this way proves, his whole purpose is just to prove that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he could be understood only by pure devotional service. There is no other way to understand Krishna or to see Krishna. Okay, any question, comment? Okay, if there is no question, no comment, then we stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.